And welcome to another edition of WHAG Sports Connection. I am your host, Brandon Green. Hi, I'm Brandon Green, and welcome to another edition of Sports Connection. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Sports Connection. I'm your host, Brandon Green, and tonight it was a busy night on the high school gridiron, so let's get right to it. We have a busy night of high school football, so let's get right to the action. It was a cold night tonight in West Virginia, but that does not stop high school football. Tonight we had a matchup of state powerhouses between the Musselmen and Martinsburg. This was our game of the week, and you could just feel the tension in the stadium. We start in the first quarter with Tyson Banjit punching it in from a few yards out to give Martinsburg their first lead of the night, 7-0. On the next possession, the Bulldogs look to take control, and Chevolo Tavini receives the pass from Banjit, makes a few people miss, and then gets blasted, and the Musselmen regain possession. Boy, wasn't that a shift in momentum, as Lucas Hall takes the direct snap and breaks free up the gut for the touchdown. They were still down 7-6 after a missed PAT. Next drive for the Musselmen was more of the same. Smash mouth football, and that's Keenan Heck with the carry as he rumbles and tumbles for extra yardage, setting up this play by Hall as he breaks a tackle and dashes to the outside. And look at the effort for the go-ahead touchdown, but the Bulldogs have an answer, and that is Dwayne Grantham. And isn't he shifty? And he would not be stopped for the game-time touchdown. The Bulldogs would go on to win 54-14. Shippensburg hosted Bishop McDevitt in a semifinal matchup. The Greyhounds won 23 straight games at home, while McDevitt has won 25 straight tournament games, so someone's streak has to end tonight. We pick things up in the second quarter, and McDevitt driving. They finish off the drive here. Chase Deal hits Tanias Beckner, and he gets into the end zone. Crusaders take a 14 lead. But the Greyhounds drive right back on the field. Here's a connection that we have seen all season. Carter Vassiot to Cody Gustafson on the fade. It's a 14-7 game. Late in the second now, you thought that Cody's catch was good before, but whoo! Check out this one. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. And the Greyhounds with the game score 30.5. Let's go to the fourth. We have a scoreless third, and Vassiot makes a mistake. James Lawson picks him off on the far sideline. That leads to this score right here. It's 21-14 McDevitt. But it didn't stay that way. They had a 14-point lead with 1:25 left. But get this, the Greyhounds scored 15 points to win the game, 29-28. But they weren't able to stay. But let's just say this: they're moving on to the district championship. It was a crazy game. We start in Waynesboro, where the Indians hosted Greencastle. We pick it up in the first quarter. The Indians already up 7-0. And check out the pretty over-the-shoulder grab by Cameron Keck. Credit Brady Riddell for the throw. Later in the drive, Mason Frampton takes the counter, and that's just shifty young fella right there. He makes a double miss and is gone, 14-0 Waynesboro. Still in the first quarter, same score, and the Indians are at it again. This time, Brady Beckner getting deep into the Greencastle territory, and Riddell puts the finishing touches on the drive, and look at him fight to get to the goal line, and that makes it 21-0. More of the same in the second quarter. Riddell showing off his arm again. And once again, Keck is the beneficiary on the deep ball. Now let's have an encore of Riddell and Keck. And they make it look simple as clockwork on the fade route, and another score for the Indians. And they go on to win 42-10. Over to Maryland, Williamsport hosted South Hagerstown. Third quarter, Williamsport down 19-13. And they go for it on fourth down, and Kavion Carter takes the screen pass, and he's right into your kitchen, folks. And that's a touchdown. It's 19-13 after a failed PAT. Fourth quarter, same score. Williamsport looking for another go-ahead score, and Jake Argnone takes the slant, and he has some room, but you can't do that. South recovers and takes over on downs, and that turnover proved to be the killer for the Wildcats. On the ensuing possession, Jason Shannon gets to the edge and into the Wildcats territory. Same drive, Sanan finishes what he started. Touchdown for South, and they go on to win 23-7, 27-13. Out to Salem, Virginia we go now. Spartans coming off a bye week. First quarter, Salem with the ball. Joseph Quinn with the carry, and he gets to the second level, and he's gone for a 40-yard run. 7-zip Salem, more from the Spartans. They get the ball back and go right down the field, and that's Noah Beckley to Vontae Tucker for the 40-yard pass, 14-0 Salem. But the Pioneers fight back Zach Rogers goes deep to Cameron Fink, and that's an 80-yard pitch and catch to make it a 14-7 game, but it was all Salem from there. They scored not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns in a row en route to a 59-14 victory. Let's go a couple towns over to Jefferson, where they took on South Hagerstown. We pick up the game in the third quarter with South leading 20-12. Isaac Myers with the quarterback keeper and a scramble down the sideline and tack on another 15 yards for the late hit. Myers now wants to show us his arm strength as he slides to his right to buy extra time and then throws a complete rocket to Noah Cunningham down the sideline. Next play, Myers with the run, but he is met by 2 South defenders. And look at the loose change, and Lincoln Akakubo scoops it up. And let's open the cash register because all he sees is green for the touchdown. South now up 26-12. A couple of drives later, South looks to put the game away. And McCoy Dutrow with the carry, and he is a speedster, passing past the entire Jefferson defense for the touchdown. South would go on to win 39-33.